परामहसा इदं हि पुंसस्तपसा श्रुतस्य वा शिष्टस्य सूक्तस्य च बुद्धिदत्तयो अविच्युतोऽर्थ कविभिर्निरूपितो यद् उत्तमश्लोकगुणानुवर्णनम्. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Who is next? Actually, I cannot see who are the participants raising the hands. Who is next? Is it Bhargavi Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Can I?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Iti murti abhidanena mantra murtim amurtikam yajate yagna purusham sa samyak darshanah puman. Bhakti yogena manasi samyak pranihite male apashyat purusham purnam mayam cha tat apashrayam. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Who is the next person? Hare Krishna.
दिव्या देसाई माताजी.
Divya
दिव्या
Desai.
माताजी.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
यया सम्मोहितो जीव आत्मानं त्रिगुणात्मकं परोऽपि मनुतेऽनर्थ तत्कृतं पद्यते अनर्थोपशमः साक्षाद्विक्ति योगं दोक्षजे लोकस्या जानतो विद्वं चक्रे सात्वत हिताम. हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
Mataji. Who is the
हरे
last?
कृष्ण माताजी.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Now Kishori Mataji.
यस माताजी. धन्यवाद प्रणाम. यस्यां विषूणमणयं कृष्णे परं पुरुषे भक्तिरुपत्पद्यते पुषं शोकमोहभयापहा. श्रुत उवाच आत्मारमश्च मुनयो निर्ग्रन्थाप्युरक्रमे कुर्वन्त्यहेतु किं भक्तिमिथ्यम् अद्भुत गुणो हरिः. हरे कृष्ण माताजी. थैंक यू.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So, I'll share my
Hare
screen.
Krishna, pranams.
हरे कृष्ण प्रणाम प्रभु जी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. धन्यवाद प्रणाम. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. धन्यवाद प्रणाम प्रभु जी.
So, listen. So, we'll start with the Mangalacharan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devem Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayam Udiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nestaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshikarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, welcome you all, Prabhujis and Matajis, and we're going to read the shlokas from 35 onwards. And yes, so there is an important chapter, disappearance of Lord Shri Krishna. And then we are reading the opulence of Dwarka. And we will begin with today's verses. So I request the devotees to please raise your hand so that we can call out the names for reading. So yes. So Divya Desai Mataji, can you please read the verse and the translation? There are two verses together, 25 and 6.
Shall I start, Mataji, or you start? I'll read Prabhuji then.
Yes, please, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna pranams. Text 35-36. Mangalaya cha lokana, Shemaya cha bhavaya cha, Ashte yadukulambodav, Adyonanta shakapyuman, Yad bahu danda guptayam, Swapuryam yadavorichaha, Tridanti paramanandam, Mahapaurushika iva. Hare Krishna. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The original personality of Godhead, the enjoyer and Balarama, the primeval Lord Ananta, are staying in the ocean of Yadu dynasty for the welfare, protection, and general progress of the entire universe. And the members of the Yadu dynasty, being protected by the arms of the Lord, are enjoying life like the residents of the spiritual sky. Thank you, Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Divya
Hare
Desai
Krishna.
Mataji and then Divya Mata, they have raised hands for reading Prabhuji.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. So Divya Mataji, can you please read the purport?
Hare Krishna.
Purport.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. As we have discussed many times, the personality of Godhead, Vishnu, resides within each and every universe in two capacities, namely as the Garbhodakashayi Vishnu and the Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. The Kshirodakashayi Vishnu has its own planet on the northern top of the universe, and there is a great ocean of milk where the Lord resides on the bed of the Ananta incarnation of Baladeva. Thus, Maharaja Yudhishthira has compared the Yadu dynasty to the ocean of the milk and Sri Balarama to the Ananta where Lord Krishna resides. He has compared the citizens of Dwaraka to the liberated inhabitants of the Vaikunta Loka. Beyond the material sky, further than we can see with our eyes and beyond the sevenfold coverings of the universe, there is a casual ocean in which all the universe are floating like footballs. And beyond the casual ocean, there is an unlimited span of spiritual sky, generally known as the effulgence of Brahman. Within this effulgence, there are innumerable spiritual planets, and they are known as the Vaikunta planet. Each and every Vaikunta planet is many times bigger than the biggest universe within the material world. And each of them, there are innumerable inhabitants who look exactly like Vishnu. These inhabitants are known as the Mahapurushikas, or persons directly engaged in the service of the Lord. They are happy in those planets and without any kind of misery. They live perpetually in full youthfulness, enjoying life in full bliss and knowledge, without fear of birth, death, old age, and disease, and without the influence of Kala, eternal time. Maharaja Yudhishthira has compared the inhabitants of Dwaraka to the Mahapurushikas of Vaikunta Loka because they are so happy with the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, there are many references to the Vaikunta Lokas, and they are mentioned there as Madhama, or the kingdom of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. So here I'll read the translation once more. The original personality of Godhead, the enjoyer, and Balrama, the primeval Lord Ananta, they are staying in the ocean of Yadu dynasty for the welfare, protection, and general progress of the entire universe. And the members of the Yadu dynasty, being protected by the arms of the Lord, are enjoying life like the residents of the spiritual sky. So So there are different planetary systems, as we know, like there are lower planetary system, and then we have our Bhuloka, and then above them there are like higher planetary systems, and then higher than those planetary systems are the heavens, right? And then even higher than them is the Satya Loka, where the Brahmaji resides, and then above Satya Loka, it is the Vaikuntha Lokas, and above Vaikuntha Lokas is the Goloka Vrindavana. So anything above the Satya Loka is they are called the spiritual planets, and the river that separates them is called Virja River. Okay, so when the residents of spiritual sky, they look at the Brahma Loka, they feel pity that how, in what condition these people are staying. Okay, and then Brahmaji does not have any problem, but when he looks at the lower planetary systems, then they feel the same pity. Okay, so but we don't feel the pity on ourselves. But when we look at the animals, okay, we feel pity on them. And when the animals look at themselves, they don't feel pity, and they feel pity on other, even lower animals. So the beauty of the Maya is whoever is wherever, no one feels pity on themselves. Right? So someone may say, I'm staying in this material world, and what is the problem? Some challenges comes here and there, and then we manage them. This is what the life is. And some people say that whether it is heaven or hell, everything is there. Hare Krishna, is the voice low? Can you, I just saw the message.
Voice is
Is
fine.
it all?
Hare Krishna.
Oh, it's fine. Okay. Okay. Sorry for that. So now, yes, I was telling that wherever, whoever it is, we don't feel pity on ourselves. So this is the beauty of the Maya, because it makes us feel that it is still manageable, right? Then what makes a difference? If it is really so manageable, there are multiple angles to look at this. Okay. If it is really so manageable, then why do we feel pity on the lower species of the life? Animals, dog. I went to a marketplace last week. So there I saw like it was very hot. Okay, and the dog, like some construction was going on. Then those ingredients which are used to prepare the building, bricks, right? And a dog was sleeping on that very peacefully. So we feel pity, but the dog does not feel pity on itself. Okay. So what is the difference? The difference is of the consciousness. Okay. So, and we also know the famous pastime of Lord Indira. And then Indra he became a hog, and Brahmaji comes to take him. And then Brahmaji is calling him, and then he said, no, I'm all right. But then Brahmaji knows it is not all right. And then he sprinkles the water and then takes him back. But the moment we are out, then we feel ashamed. We feel pity. Why? Why was I into that condition? Why was I not trying to come out of that? Even more important question. Okay. So it very much applies to us because we, as we progress, let us take a small example. when we are sleeping, okay, when we are sleeping, then the sleep is very important to us. And we are happy sleeping and we don't want to wake up. As we wake up, this thing happens every single day, right? As we wake up, then we realize, oh, I was just wasting my time. Okay. And, but then what is this wakening up? The wakening up is like, we read the prayer, right? Om Ajnana Timirandasya. So we are in the darkness of the ignorance. And then Jnananjana Shalakhaya. So Anjan means the kajal, right? So when the Guru puts the Anjan of the Gyan, then we wake up. And then we realize what situation we were in. So on one side, we should be very thankful to Maya, because Maya, like a sweet mother, never let us feel the pain. But then the downside of that is this most important time was getting wasted during that tenure. Okay. Because as we, every single day, every single moment, I was hearing this morning that Krishna wants to teach us a lesson in every single situation. It is up to us whether we want to take the maximum uses of that lesson or we just waste it. Okay, the context was Dhruva Maharaj was asked by Suruchi. Suruchi represents the taste, our taste in the material world. And Suniti represents the morals and the ethics and what is right. Taste may be here and there. Niti is one. Okay. So Suruchi is telling Dhruva to leave his body, 5-year-old boy, to leave his body and die, and then take birth and pray to the Lord that you take the birth from my womb. And then Suniti was very angry hearing this. But the best key takeaway of the session was, it is very important that we don't feel bad. But then more important thing is we don't give the bad feeling a form of the action. Bhagavad Gita 2.70, right? Apuryamanam achalam pratistam. So if samudra, right, ocean, keeps on getting the waves, but it does not react to that. So the difference between a sage and a normal person is both have feeling, both are very much alive, and they get desire. But then the sage does not give the form of an action to the desires that he is getting. So this is what Suniti did. She told, yes, your mother is absolutely right, Suruchi, and then you have to follow what she told. Okay, you are unfortunate because you have taken birth from my womb, and the Lord and the king does not like me. So this is your unfortunate part, but then you accept it. Okay, and then she was burning into the fire when she was speaking this, but the words that were coming out of her mouth were not reflecting the same. She was inspiring Dhruva to actually do the austerity, go to the forest and search for the Lord. And then Prabhuji was taking the class, was mentioning that ultimately Suruchi left her body by actually burning into the forest fire. That was, anyway, her account, and what happens to her, that is not the important subject matter. Subject matter is like whichever condition we are into, Suniti used that moment. In fact, Suruchi was the reason for Dhruva's achieving the Lord. Had she not created this situation, probably nothing would have happened. So indirectly, she is helping. So what is the takeaway for us? The takeaway for us is that in any situation of the life, we will be having challenges. Vidura had the challenges when Duryodhana used the bad insulting words against him. Dhruva had the challenge when Suruchi insulted and used the bad words. Okay, so there are so many examples, but then how we react into that situation is the ultimate purpose of the life. Okay, so similarly, we will be given challenges, very small challenges as compared to theirs. Okay, our own father, unlike Prahlad Maharaj, will not try to kill us as he did it multiple times. Just the very same thought will put us into so much of distress if we just have a dream of this thing. But his father was doing it again and again. So we will never get those problems. Okay, so we have to see how we can surrender to the Lord into that moment. And as we progress, that austerity gives us the force. Okay, Srila Prabhupada says, if you just follow the 4 regulatory principles and do the 16 rounds of chanting, we just following will create so much of positiveness. It will automatically create the people devotees. It will make the people into devotees. Okay, because it is very contagious. It spreads very fast. So purity is the force. When we ask someone, when we are not doing it, then there is no force. Okay, because then that conviction is not there. Now the thing is, when we are taking the shelter of the Lord and show our inability, okay, why do we do the Mangalacharan? Mangalacharan we do just so that it is Srila Prabhupada who is preaching. We all are reading Srila Prabhupada's purport. So if when we try to preach anybody in the life, and if we think, oh, I did this and I could not do this, I tried my best, but I could not do it. When we bring I and mine into the picture, it means we are creating the obstruction into the pipeline of the mercy. The mercy is right there and it is ready to flow. Okay, we don't need to obstruct it, bringing ourselves into the pipeline. Okay, we are just a via medium, and in fact, we are a receiver. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.1.16, when we discuss about the glories of the Lord, then the person who is asking the question and who is hearing and then who is giving the answer, all are benefited. So yes, so what we learn from this verse is the opulence of the Dwarkavasis. They are protected by the Lord Balrama. Okay, and then it also shows Yudhishthira Maharaj's love for the Lord, because he knows that Krishna is the Lord and nothing can happen. But then when Yudhishthira Maharaj was in the form of a human, and then Krishna came as the form of human. So we show our love, right? Otherwise, for example, if we have deities in our house, and if we think the deities are the one who are feeding the whole world, why do I need to feed my deities? Right? So these are the same deities. Pratima nahi tumhe sakshat Brajendra Nandan. The deities that we have, they are not the Pratima. They are the Lord standing. Okay. And then the Lord is feeding to the whole world. Why do I need to do it? So we do it out of love. Okay. And as we serve, if someone says, I don't have the love, then we should still do it. Srila Prabhupada, one of the senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada, said that, Prabhupada, I don't feel like paying you the obeisances. What should I do? And as we all know, Prabhupada said, you should still pay the obeisances. Right? So Prabhupada says that fake it until you make it. We have heard it multiple times. And then further I heard that we don't fake it so much that other people starts believing we are actually doing it. We should not fake it so much that we ourselves forget that we are faking it. Right? And the third important point is we should not fake it so much that we stop praying that one day I actually want to follow it. So we fake it, but knowing I don't have this quality and I want to absorb it one day with the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. The fakeness should not be so much so that everyone is feeling and we are feeling and we forget praying. That is not the right thing then. Okay. We remain into the fake world then. I mean, we know that Urdhva Moolam Adho Shaka, right? 15.1. This material world is the spiritual, is the perverted reflection of the spiritual world. So we know it is the perverted reflection. So we should see everything as a perverted reflection. And then if we think this world as a real, then that puts us into the danger, because then we start forgetting our relationship and what is the spiritual world. We start assuming everything here real. So we know it is fake. We know it is the perverted reflection. So we should have this alertness all the times that this is not the place to settle. But then what do I do? What we do is to follow the instruction of the spiritual master, because that is a zone, safety zone. We would have heard during COVID, some bubble, I mean, that circle was created so that it remains disinfectious and then everybody remains safe. So, well, that could not be succeeded, but the circle of the safety of the spiritual master, when we follow his instructions, that keeps us into the safe bubble. Okay, so, and we just read the translation again. The original personality of Godhead, the enjoyer, the Balrama, the primeval node, Ananta, they are staying. So when Mare Krishna, Rake Ke, and Rake Krishna, Mare Ke. So when Lord is taking care of everyone, then what can happen to the people in the Dwarka? Okay? And they were enjoying like the residents of the spiritual sky. Okay, we go further to 37th verse now. And I request now Divya Desai Mataji, please read the verse and the translation.
यत्पादशुश्रूषणमुख्यकर्मणा सत्यादयो दृष्टसहस्रयोषितः निर्जित्य सङ्के त्रिदशास्तदाशिशो हरन्ति वज्रायुधवल्लभोचितः. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Simply by administering comforts at the lotus feet of the Lord, which is the most important of all services, the queens at Dwarka, headed by Satyabhama, induced the Lord to conquer the demigods. Thus, the queen enjoyed things which are prerogatives of the wives of the controller of Thunderbolt. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams Prabhuji.
Thanks so much. Yes, Kishori Mataji, can you please read the purport? Hare Krishna Mataji, we are not able to hear.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Now Kishori Mataji raised hand. Let her read one para, Prabhuji. Purport is so big.
Oh, this is big. Okay, sure, Prabhuji. We'll follow the same. Yes.
Now Kishori Mataji, please read, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. I will. Sure, Prabhuji.
Also request other devotees to please raise their hands.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Satyabhama, one of the principal queens of Lord Shri Krishna at Dwarka. After killing Narkasura, Lord Krishna visited the palace of Narkasura accompanied by Satyabhama. He went to Indraloka also with Satyabhama, and she was received by Sachidevi, who introduced her to the mother of demigods, Aditi. Aditi was very much pleased with Satyabhama, and she blessed her with the benediction of permanent youth as long as Lord Shri Krishna remained on the earth. Aditi also took her with her to show her the special prerogatives of the demigods in the heavenly planets. When Satyabhama saw the Parijata flower, she desired to have it in her palace of Dwarka. After that, she came back to Dwarka along with her husband and expressed her willingness to have the Parijata flower at her palace. Satyabhama's palace was especially bedecked with valuable jewels, and even in the hottest season of the summer, the inside of the palace remained cool as if air conditioned. She decorated her palace with various flags, heralding the news of her great husband's presence there. Once, along with her husband, she met Draupadi, and she was anxious to be instructed by Draupadi in the ways and means of pleasing her husband. Draupadi was expert in this affair because she kept 5 husbands, the Pandavas, and all were very much pleased with her. On receipt of Draupadi's instructions, she was very much pleased and offered her good wishes and returned to Dwarka. She was the daughter of Satrajita. After the departure of Lord Krishna, when Arjuna visited Dwarka, all the queens, including Satyabhama and Rukmani, lamented for the Lord with great feelings. At the last stage of her life, she left for the forest to undergo severe penance. Satyabhama instigated her husband to get the Parijata
Mataji,
flower
Hare
from the
Krishna.
heavenly planet.
Hare
And
Krishna.
the Lord got it even by force from the
Hare Krishna,
demigods,
Mataji.
as a common husband secures things to please his wife. As already explained, the Lord
Hare Krishna.
Sorry,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Sorry,
Yes, Prabhuji.
Mataji.
Satyabhama instigated her husband
Mataji,
to
I
get
wanted
the
to.
Parijita flower from the heavenly planets, and the Lord got
Mataji,
it
Prabhu wants
even
you to
by
stop.
force from the.
Mataji, Prabhu wants you to
Sorry,
stop.
Mataji.
Mataji, I just wanted to request Archana Mataji for the second paragraph, if it is okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna,
Dandat
Mataji.
pranam.
Mataji. Yes, Archana Shri Yadav Devidasi Mataji. Can you please read the
Hare
second
Krishna
paragraph?
Prabhuji. Satyabhama instigated her husband to get the Parijata flower from the heavenly planets, and the Lord got it even by force from the demigods, as a common husband secures things to please his wife. As already explained, the Lord had very little to do with so many wives to carry out their orders like an ordinary man. But because the queens accepted the high quality of devotional service, namely administering the Lord's all comforts, the Lord played the part of faithful and complete husband. No earthly creature can expect to have things from heavenly kingdom, especially the Parijata flowers, which are simply to be used by the demigods. But due to their becoming the Lord's faithful wife, all of them enjoyed the special prerogatives of the great wives of denizens of heaven. In other words, since Lord is the proprietor of everything within his creation, it is not very astonishing for the queens of Dwaraka to have any rare thing from any part of the universe. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
So, here, one thing to be taken away is Indra, who is the king of the heaven, and his mother, Aditi, her kundals were given by the Lord after he collected them from Narkasur, after killing him. And the Lord goes with Mother Satyabhama, who is the partial incarnation of the earth, Mother Earth, because Narkasur is the son of Mother Earth. So, like when Lord comes as Varadev, then Narkasura takes birth. So there are descriptions that after Mother Satyabhama asked, looking at Narkasura was good, but then his association with Banasur spoiled him. So one thing to be learned is even the son of the Lord, if and comes under the contact of the bad association, may get polluted. But the story and the pastime does not finish here. Okay, Mame Vamsho Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So Lord says every living entity is also his Ansha. And the Amsha means the son. So we are also the son of the Lord. Then it is not, the learning does not stop only at the level of Narkasura. It is very much continuing. Because when we come in the bad association and we don't respect the Lord as our Father and do the things which pleases him, then we are also not better than Narkasura. Right? So, okay, so we continue. Now, Narkasura is killed and the kundals are received and it is given to Mother Aditi, okay, the mother of Indra. And after she gives, she is very much pleased. And now Mother Satyabhama wants to take the Parijata flower. Okay. So another thing to be very much be careful here is Mother Satyabhama did not want to take the flower for herself. When someone has the Lord in their association all the times and she is the principal queen, then what beauty, what extra contribution with the Parijat flower do? So we should be very careful. Mother Satyabhama wanted the Parijata flower so that it could be used in the service of the Lord Krishna. Okay. So, and then further, when Lord goes and asks Indra for giving the Parijata flower tree, basically, so Indra says, no, it is meant to be used by the demigods. So here comes the problem. Okay, I was hearing a lecture where it says Srimad Bhagavatam, every single verse and every single word has multiple meanings. And as we develop the relationship with Srimad Bhagavatam, with the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, most important, then every word has multiple meanings. And we enjoy the rain of the bliss that comes from each and every word. Okay, so we are discussing one shloka, and there are so many learnings, right? And as we develop the relationship even more stronger, then one verse is sufficient, right? If we follow one verse, I have a very senior, very nice devotee friend, and then speaking to him about 2 weeks back, and then he had told that one shloka of Srimad Bhagavad Gita he had been reading for last 2 months, and then every time when he reads, then it gets more meaning. So we had heard it, okay, but when we see the devotees around us, when they try to apply it, that gives us even more conviction, because then it brings the things from the ideal theoretical platform to something practical which can be actually applied. Okay, so that is why it is very important that we like. I want to share one more small realization. Like we were working on a problem. It was a bug in office project. Okay, and the bug was we had we are making it slightly technical, but then we will connect it with this today's purpose. Okay, so it was last week's incident. We had a bug in office project, and the bug means issue, problem. Okay, and the problem was that we write some data into a file, and then when we want to rewrite something, then the system where we were doing the work, it creates one extra copy. Okay, and when it creates an extra copy, then there is no room to store the file. Okay, the quality of that file system that we were using, it creates an extra copy, so that if something happens, you have one copy safe. So it is the characteristic, and it is a good quality. But in our case, we did not have the enough space, so we don't want that extra copy to be created. And we spent a good amount of efforts prior to that, and we found this problem almost at their last moment. Right? So changing everything was a problem. Then the real learning come, and the real learning was flush out before you write. Means before you start writing to the same file, flush out everything, so that the second copy is not created. What is the meaning of the flush out? How do we apply that learning here in our Srimad Bhagavatam learning, studying? We might have heard some pastime or the story or some shloka, or we have to flush out before we hear it again. Hearing means it is writing. We are writing that thing into our consciousness. If we have a prior feeling and prior understanding that I know it, we will not be able to make maximum out of that. What are the examples? Again, this morning only I was hearing. So, Dhruva Maharaj, pastime, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard it 100+ times. And every time when he hears, then he is having the same ecstasy, as if it was never heard before. So how is that possible? How do we actually follow the footsteps of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So this is one technique. Flush out before you write. Okay? That helps to avoid making an extra copy. Okay? And that extra copy is very harmful, because we did not have the enough space into our office project problem, right? But then we don't have enough space in our life also. Okay? We have to keep one copy. And then every time when we hear, then hear it as freshly. Like there is another verse in Srimad Bhagavatam which says, the pastimes of the Lord are Navam Navam. Every time we feel, when we hear them, it is as refreshing as it was heard for the very first time. Okay. So, one very senior ISKCON sannyasi had told this thing he emphasized this point very much, that there is a verse, right? Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhe Kabunai Sharvana Adi Suddha Chitta Kariya Udai. So we are all fully Krishna conscious. Okay. There is nothing we have to create newly. Okay. We have the Krishna consciousness in our hearts already. And not 99.99%, full 100%. So what has to be done is that as we hear, right, Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta Kariya Udai, as we hear, our heart becomes more and more cleansed. And when it is cleansed, we can experience that bliss of Krishna Prema, because it is right there. Krishna Prema does not have to be brought. Like in Bangalore, half of the Bangalore, the water is supplied through the tanker, because the place does not have the water, and it has to be supplied from one place to another. So we don't need another tanker for Krishna Prema. Krishna Prema is there, right there. Okay, it has to be just, there is a layer of ignorance, of the forgetfulness, and as we hear, that layer disappears. Okay, how is that related to this verse, this purport that we are reading? Because Indra did the same mistake. He just saw his mother being so much thankful to the Lord and to Mother Satyabhama, right, by giving their kundals. Now, if they want, Lord is the proprietor of everything. Bhoktaram Yaditapasam, right? He owns everything. Lord is asking, that is a humbleness of the Lord. It is for us to learn that even the Lord can pray And there are no words to explain that because he is the owner. If we own something and if we have given it to somebody, we can see our tone. How do we ask it back? Even if we are requesting, again, there is a fakeness in our requesting because I know if the person says no, I will snatch it away. Right? Now the Lord, who is actually the proprietor and then controlling everything, he is requesting. And Indra is saying no. That is because of the ignorance. Why we hear it again and again? Why we should flush out before we read, before we write again? Because those impressions have to be cleaned. If we don't hear it, Vyasdeva says, right, Narada's and Vyasdeva's conversation, if we don't hear it repeatedly and sufficiently, then it cannot satisfy our heart. So we have to keep on hearing. Otherwise, how much ever elevated we are, the Devatas don't even look at the earth, thinking it as a very abominable place to look at. Okay, we don't look at the stool, thinking it is why to look. It is so abominable. The same impression the demigods have for the earth, for the people staying on the earth. So, but we are happy. We discussed this part in the first part, right? First loka. But we have a better chance to go because Bhokta Aram, sorry, what is it? Bhogashvara Prasakta Nam. So as we have the more opulence, the chances of forgetting the Lord are more. It is good to have some struggle. Even with the struggle, we are somehow able to manage to forget the Lord. What if there are actually no challenges? It will be even more difficult. Okay, so this is the takeaway from this verse. And the Lord took the parijata because everything belongs to the Lord. So we just read now, and I request minimum 2 devotees. Please read the shloka and the translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Okay. Dhanashri Mataji has raised hand, Prabhuji. Let her.
Sure. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes. Dhanashri Mataji, can you please read the shloka and then the translation?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you. Dandavat Pranam.
Yes.
Appeared. Yadbahudandadudayanu yadu praviraya kuto bhayamuhu atikramantyagam drivirarutam balat sabam sudharmam suratatomochitam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ji ki Jai. The great heroes of the Yadu dynasty, being protected by the arms of Lord Sri Krishna, always remained fearless in every respect, and therefore their feet trampled over the Sudharma assembly house, which the best demigods deserved, but which was taken away from them. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Bhargavi Mataji, let her read one paragraph of purport. Purport is big, Prabhuji.
Okay. Oh, okay. Sure, Prabhuji. Sure. Yes, Bhargavi Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Those who are directly servitors of the Lord are protected by the Lord from all fearfulness, and they also enjoy the best of things, even if they are forcibly accumulated. The Lord is equal in behavior to all living beings, but He is partial to His pure devotees, being very affectionate toward them. The city of Dwaraka was flourishing, being enriched with the best of things in the material world. The state assembly house is constructed according to the dignity of the particular state. In the heavenly planets, the state assembly house called Sudharma was deserving of the dignity of the best of the demigods. Such an assembly house is never meant for any state on the globe because the human being on the earth is unable to construct it. However far a particular state may be materially advanced, but during the time of Lord Krishna's presence on the earth, the members of the Yadu family forcibly brought the celestial assembly house to earth and placed it at Dwaraka. They were able to use such force because they were certain of the indulgence and protection of the Supreme Lord Krishna. In other words, the Lord is provided with the best things in the universe by His pure devotees. Lord Krishna was provided with all kinds of comforts and facilities available within the universe by the members of the Yadu dynasty, and in return, such servitors of the Lord were protected and fearless. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Giridhar Gopal Prabhuji, are you ready to read? Giridhar Gopal Prabhu.
Prabhuji, no, Prabhuji. Sorry, Prabhuji.
Okay, Jigisha Mataji. Will you read, Mataji?
Yeah, see, Shailaja Mataji has raised her hand, Prabhuji.
Sorry, Prabhuji, I'm out, sir.
Okay, then
Prabhuji,
Dinesh
Shailaja,
Prabhakaran Prabhuji.
Krishnamurti Prabhuji, I can see the hand of Shailaja Mataji. She is.
Okay, then letter.
Sure, Prabhuji.
Okay, letter.
Hare
Shailaja
Krishna.
Mataji, provide Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam. Universe by the members of the Yadu dynasty, and in return such servitors of the Lord were protected and fearless. A forgetful, conditioned soul is fearful, but a liberated soul is never fearful. Just a small child completely depend on the mercy of his father is never fearful of anyone. Fearfulness is a sort of illusion for the living being when he is in a slumber and forgetting his eternal relation with the Lord. Since the living being is never to die by his constitution, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 2.20, then what is the cause of fearfulness? A person may be fearful of a tiger in a dream, but another man who is awakened by his sight sees no tiger there. The tiger is a myth for both of them, namely the person dreaming and the person awakened, because actually there is no tiger, but the man forgetful of his awakened life is fearful, whereas the man who has not forgotten his position is not at all fearful. Thus, the members of the Yadu dynasty were fully awakened in their service to the Lord, and therefore there was no tiger for them to be afraid of at any time. Even if there were a real tiger, the Lord was there to protect them. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thanks, Prabhuji. Yes. So, yes, so there is, this can be one takeaway from the entire session today, that there is no tiger. Okay. The tiger is not outside. The tiger is inside. The tiger of fearfulness. Okay. The 2.20, I think it is na jayate mriyate. Just na jayate mriyate va kadachit. Na ayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuya. Ajo nitya shasvato ayam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. So when the soul, there is no birth, no death, and there was never a time when the soul was not there, right? It has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. So, see, if we have any taste for the material enjoyment, then the taste is not going anywhere else. In all other form of the life, we can enjoy that taste even more. Okay, we'll conclude now within next 2 minutes. The taste is not running anywhere. In remaining form of the life, other than human form, we all have experienced that taste multiple times, and still it has not gone. We want to do it even more. It means running behind this material taste is an illusion. Like that carrot example we discussed, right? If we could caught this material enjoyment, then we could have enjoyed it completely, and then we know how it is, and then we are done. But because we are part of the Sachidanand, right? Ishwara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. So we want that bliss, and that bliss does not exist here, right? So, and it's not like we have just taken birth. We have spent good amount of years of this life also. So after coming at this situation and then still running behind with that taste, material taste, again thinking that one day it will satisfy us, that is nothing but like there cannot be any, it is like Vimuda, the Vishesh Muda, right? We cannot be more dull-minded, more murkha than still running behind this with the same intensity. There is a difference between needing those things to survive or running behind those things and making them as the purpose of the life. Okay, so let us be at least attentive. Srila Prabhupada says that I am praying to the Lord so that I remain protected from the Maya. If Prabhupada needs to pray, basically to teach us a lesson, then we should be even more alert, because we don't have that taste. I mean, we are just trying to walk on the spirituality path with a stick and with the hand of Srila Prabhupada, and then we need to be even more careful. And then after the departure of the Guru Maharaj, okay, the responsibility is on the shoulder of the disciple even more. Okay, so Srila Prabhupada is not there, and then we are his representatives. People look at ISKCON, our community, through us. They will not come to the temple. They will not see and deal with the devotees. They will not hear the Bhagavatam, and they may not do the chanting also. But through us, they are analyzing and seeing everything and estimating everything else. So it is a bigger responsibility. We are part of a very great lineage. Our acharyas are the manjaris in the Goloka Vrindavan. They are the closest associate of Srimati Radharani. We have forgotten that. But then who is going to remind us? Srila Prabhupada is going to remind us through the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay? So the tiger is not there outside. It is there inside. And then what if the tiger is there outside also? Once we have that acceptance, even if the tiger is there outside, what it will do? It will take my life. I know it's easy to say, but then at least accept this thing theoretically. Whatever before the tiger, whether internal or external, kills me, let me be at least mentally prepared, because one tiger we always have in the form of the death. Okay, but then the death can take as much as we want to give it. The least that the death can take is the body, and the maximum that it can take is the fear, and then spoiling our consciousness, because the fear spoils it. We will not be able to do the things with the fear, right? We have to be ready for that tiger. So with this we conclude, and then if any Prabhuji or Mataji has any questions or comments, we can discuss. Otherwise, we are done with the today's verses. Sorry, I did not realize the position of the screen. I just tell you. Yes, Padma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, my question is not related to this class today, but I was talking to somebody, and then I had a little doubt. That person asked me, she had been attending a class, and she said that I understand that when we surrender fully to Krishna, he takes all our karma. He takes all our karma. Is that true, Prabhuji? He takes all our karma. But at the same time, Krishna says, no, I have nothing to do with your karma that you have to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Which is right, Prabhuji?
Okay. So
because there are 4 types of karma, no? Bija, Kota, Prarabdha, Aprarabdha. So
yes,
how
very
is
good.
going to take our karma? Yeah. By chanting, we can reduce our sins. So sin and karma are the same thing, no? Sin and karma?
Yes. Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Yeah. So what do I tell her?
Bad karmas are there in the form of sins, and then sins can be into all those 4 stages, like you explained. So there can be multiple ways to understand this. One is, let us begin with any sin in any form. Aprarabdha phalam papam, right? Utam bijam phalomukam. As soon as we remember and take the shelter of the Lord, everything else is destroyed. Okay? Now, this is one understanding. Second, if we take the shelter of the spiritual master, the spiritual master takes a vow that he will not go back to the Godhead until he takes us there. So we should be fully assured that now we are in the safe hands. Okay, this is second understanding. Third understanding is Srimad Bhagavatam. 1.5.18, Mataji, if you read that purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, once we take the shelter of the Lord, then the Lord is driving. Every single challenge or the problem that comes in our life is not because of our previous karmas, okay, but it is designed by the Lord, so that we can learn from that and then progress further. The fourth understanding can be, we are not here to destroy our sins. We are here to destroy our sinful propensity. And then, as you rightly mentioned, chanting helps to finish that. Otherwise, as Parikshit Maharaj says, it is kunjara socham. As the elephant takes bath and then immediately puts the mud on itself, there is no point in destroying the sins. When we take the shelter, when we do the chanting, and if we have a target that all my sins will be destroyed, then it is an offense, because it is like using a 100 kg, using a tanker to kill a mosquito. Okay.
Yes.
We don't kill a mosquito by using tanker. So we do the chanting not for eradicating our sins. We do it for getting the Krishna prema.
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So what do I tell her? Is it right or wrong? Because she is not an advanced, she is a Kanishta Adhikari. So I don't want to misguide her. I said I'll let you know by tomorrow.
Okay. So Kanishta Adhikari is also a devotee of the Lord.
Yes.
I'm also trying to become a Kanishta Adhikari one day. I don't remember.
You also like that, no, Prabhuji? No, because she was asking me. Because she had a little doubt. That's why she asked. She said, when we surrender fully to Krishna, is he taking all our karmas?
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Because at the same time, Krishna says, no, I have nothing to do with your karma. We all have to go through, no? Because again, the next birth, again, whatever we have done karma, that we have to again, go through.
Yes.
So it's a bit of a tricky question.
Okay. So I'll just explain you very quickly. Other Prabhujis or Mataji, if you want to drop, please feel free. We are done with the formal slogas. You're most welcome to continue, but I'm just telling in case if you have to leave for some other duty.
If it's not late for you, Prabhuji?
No, Mataji, I'm okay.
Not
Yes.
late? Yeah.
Yes, I'm okay. So Vasudev Datta in Chaitanya Charitamrita request Mahaprabhu that I cannot. You know this past time, Mataji? Vasudev Datta?
No, Prabhuji, we just finished it. We have to go through again. There are so many stories.
Okay. So Vasudeva Datta says that I cannot see the sin, so many people suffering in this world. Oh Krishna, please give me the sins of all these people so that they go back to you and I suffer for all their sins. Okay. And then hearing this prayer, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was extremely happy because it shows the compassionate heart of the devotee. And then Mahaprabhu says something which will answer your question also. So he says Krishna is not so incapable that to deliver all these people of this world, he has to make you to suffer. Okay, Krishna can make you also not suffer and take everyone's sins and deliver them. Okay, so Krishna taking sin means Krishna has to suffer. I mean, that is a general meaning when we discuss, right? Krishna does not have to suffer. He, with just his thinking, just by having a thought, all these universes take place. So he does not have to janma karma chame devem, right? He does not have to suffer any kind of sins. He is Svrat. Whatever he likes, it will happen. So he can finish the sin and nobody has to face that sin. Neither Krishna nor that person or nor anybody else.
Yeah, so he takes our sins when we surrender.
Yes.
In other words.
Yes. So you can answer this in Sarva Dharmana Parityaja also, right? Give up all the responsibility and then surrender unto me. And then he's saying, don't worry. And then I must suggest you to please read this Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.18. That will give the more details. Okay. So I see one more hand.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Actually, now in this, in the continuity of this story, Yudhishthira Maharaj is questioning Arjuna to tell about what has happened at Dwaraka. He's already having an idea in his mind because Narad Muni has already warned him that such situation is going to come. But he is inquiring in a positive way to Arjuna. But so far now, in between, he is actually glorifying these people, right, Prabhuji? Actually, why is he speaking about all these people in between? He's just glorifying, but actually, Arjuna is not answering at all. He's just listening to Yudhishthira Maharaj. But in between, he's saying about all these Dwarkavasis. So I do not get why he is glorifying these many people in between, Prabhuji. Actually, his idea is to question what happened to Lord. And from the
Yes.
title, we can understand that it is disappearance of Lord. But what makes him glorify all these people, Prabhuji? I feel it is making more complicated. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Maraji. Thank you, Maraji, for the nice question. So, this description of Yudhishthira Maharaj asking about all other people in the Dwarka is expressing his love for the Lord. Because all these people, he's telling they are all having prosperity and they are having the comforts like the spiritual world. And then the description of Mother Satyabhama, and they are having, they are protected by the Balrama, and right. So the devotees of the Lord, if they are happy, it means the Lord is there. Okay. So by talking about others, one, it is, if we have our sibling, and when we talk after a long time, we ask about each and everyone. We know each and everyone's name, and we have a relationship with each of them. We don't have that relationship. Okay, but Yudhishthira Maharaj had. So he is able to remember all these names, and he had a unique relation with all of those family members. So it shows his love for Krishna, Krishna's family. He's part of the family. And then if they are all happy, it is understood they cannot be happy without Krishna. It means they are there, so Krishna is obviously there. And when we are it's like a small example. If the child says to mother, "What if I fail?" and then the mother says, "Shubh shubh bolo," right? I mean, there are many such examples. Don't say that thing which you don't want to happen. We don't want to even hear or speak that, right? Because that is so close to us, and we don't want to even call out those words on our lips. I hope I'm able to explain. This was the last question that he will ask at the end of the chapter. What about the Krishna? But until then, he stopped and paused and indirectly trying to understand that Krishna will be happy because all his devotees, all his family members in the Dwarka are okay.
Yes, Prabhuji, one more point to add in that. In the previous verse itself, it says that the Lord stays only where pious men assemble, and they take pleasure in glorifying the truth. So Maharaja Yudhishthira was anxious to know about the pious men living in Dwaraka. That is why he was anxious to know, and he's asking,
Yes, true, Mataji. Yes. As I said, like he has a unique relation with every single person in the Dwarka family members. So he's remembering them and then talking about them. And then, yes.
Hare
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you,
Krishna,
Mataji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks a lot, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, life lesson in the Sloka 38.
Okay.
A person may be fearful of a tiger in a dream, but another man who is awake by his side sees no tiger there. The tiger is a myth for both of them, namely the person dreaming and the person awake. Because actually there is no tiger, but the man forgetful of his awakened life is fearful. Whereas the man who has not forgotten his position is not at all fearful. This is the worthy title. Prabhuji thing is why we are struggling, why we are facing so many difficulties just for forgetting of the Supreme Lord only. So the analogy is so beautiful, Prabhuji.
Yes.
So we must, it is to be noted in our table. We have to see. Regularly we have to see this. The awakens will come in our inner Thank you, Prabhuji. Particularly this tiger analogy is very, very beautiful,
Yes.
Prabhuji. Thank you,
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, it is
Excellent,
late.
Prabhuji.
I am taken the extra
No,
time.
no, Prabhuji. Completely. You're most welcome,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji. And
I'm
thanks
just
to
reminded of Prabhupada, the story, Prabhuji, that again become a mouse. That story I
yes,
remember.
Punar
Yeah, it's
Mustik.
connected.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Punarmushi. Like he wants to become a cat, again he wants to become a dog, and then he wants to become a tiger. And the saint, he agrees to everything. And finally, what happens? The tiger, he says, I want to eat you. And then again becomes a mouse.
Hari Bol. Wonderful.
That's a nice
Wonderful.
story.
Yeah, Hari.
So this word, as Krishnamurti Babuji also mentioned, this word tiger is the takeaway for today's session, because even if there is no tiger or tiger, it does not matter. What matters is the tiger is nothing but all our excuses to forget Krishna, right? Whether it is the dream or it is in front of us, it is not going to affect us in both the case. But all those excuses makes us to forget Krishna. So tiger is equal to excuses for forgetting Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Worthy explanations. Really heart-touching examples were there. So you are grateful to Prabhuji. What your counsel has reminded us to be in Krishna consciousness in this way. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Prabhupada ki jai. And, thanks a lot, Giridhar Gopal Prabhuji, for your example of Amrish Maharaj and Dhruva Muni. Yes. Okay, so we'll pause the session here. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhu bhayavacha patitanam
पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो अनंत कोटि वैष्णवेंद्र की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय।
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank
कृष्ण
you for
प्रभु,
coming.
थैंक यू सो मच।
Hare
धन्यवाद, प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.